What is going on, everybody? I go by the name of Curry, and I want to thank you guys for joining me here today on SneakerPhetish. All right, guys, today we're taking a look at an overseas exclusive Air Jordan 3 that recently dropped, and it seemed like it didn't get a whole lot of love out here. So before we dive into why none of you guys really ended up buying the sneaker, let's take a look at the box. All right, now, first things first, obviously this Jordan 3 box got kind of that 75% black, 25% elephant print, similar to how the colors are on the shoe, like we've seen with the red denims, with the all red Chicago 3s and different ones like that. Now we also got this court purple Jumpman symbol in the middle of the lid as well, kind of paying a nod to what the sneaker looks like, but that's pretty much the box as a whole. But without further ado, let's get into the shoe. Boom. And there it is, ladies and gentlemen. This is the Air Jordan 3 Court Purple. Now, here's the thing about this sneaker. It's a good looking shoe. Like, I like the shoe. I like the way that it looks. But the really interesting thing about this sneaker is that this was actually one of the biggest letdowns of 2020 when it came to sneakers. And that's for a couple of reasons that we'll dig into after we take a closer look at the sneaker. So let's dig into it. All right, now starting with the upper of the shoe here, it's a classic Air Jordan 3 silhouette. The materials are pretty much the same as well. The black upper is a leather that we've seen many times before. As you can see, the leather folds in pretty easily. It's pretty soft. It's not super stiff, but it's nothing really to write home about. It's standard. Now, of course, that differentiates from the leather that's going around the bottom portion of the upper here, where the mud guards of the shoe are as well. That leather is a little bit stiffer. It's not quite as soft as the leather on the upper and in the quarter panels. Now, obviously, the big draw here are the little hits of this court purple going around the collar, the perforated collar of the shoe here, on the top eyelets, on the bottom eyelets, even though the middle eyelets are still black. And of course, the purple band on the midsole going from the lateral side all the way around to the medial side. Taking a top down look at the shoe here, standard black Air Jordan 3 laces, gray tongue, nothing really different there, but the tongue is a little different. On the tongue of the shoe, you get that big purple Jumpman stitched in there with that orange lining going all around the symbol. You also get more orange on the back of the tongue as well. Moving around to the heel of the shoe here, you get the classic Air Jordan 3 heel tab, but this time you're gonna get the purple Jumpman, that core purple Jumpman right above that orange Air emblem. Taking a look at the outsole, you get the gray, which is the main color here, kind of like that classic black cement Jordan 3, but then you also get the hit of the court purple on the forefront of the foot, and you also get that hit of orange with that purple OG outlined Jordan emblem on the heel. And that brings us to the insole. You get this same orange insole with that court purple Jumpman on the heel. If you're wondering what that 270 is, I believe that's the millimeters for the size, so they don't do like United States size 9 size tags overseas. They kind of measure them in millimeters like this. So I believe 270 is like 270 millimeters. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I do know it's a different unit of measurement that they use overseas on the sneakers that they drop over there. And that's pretty much it when it comes to the court purple and orange Air Jordan 3. I tried to look around on this sneaker for any kind of Easter eggs or little things like that, maybe something behind the heel tab here, but nothing. That's pretty much it. That's what you get. Now, here's the thing about this sneaker, because I really wanted to dig into why in the world this sneaker was even made in the first place. Now, the first thing I mentioned before is that this sneaker was one of the biggest letdowns of 2020. And the reason for that is because when we first saw mock-ups of this sneaker, we really just saw this side profile of the shoe here. So really all we saw was the black and the purple. Now, of course, because of everything going on with Kobe and how everybody was feeling, a lot of people thought that this was going to be a black version of that Kobe Air Jordan 3 that nobody was ever able to get their hands on. So a lot of people were very, very excited. And some people even called these the Laker 3s because they thought that the purple was going to be offset by yellow. But when people saw that the sneaker had these orange hits in it, it's like all of that hype immediately died out for this shoe. It's like nobody wanted it anymore because these were now Phoenix Suns colors instead of Lakers colors. Now, I've heard a lot of people talking about New York Knicks colors. I don't know on what planet Earth the New York Knicks' colors were purple and orange as opposed to blue and orange, but I don't get New York Knicks vibes from these. I actually get Phoenix Suns vibes from these, which then led me down the path of wondering why on earth would Jordan Brand make a Phoenix Suns themed colored Air Jordan 3? Why on earth would they do this? Now, here's the deal. Michael Jordan, Charles Barkley, they have a very interesting relationship. They've kind of loved to hate each other over the years, but they were close. Until recently. Now, you guys may remember Charles Barkley kind of went on this kind of a press tour, I guess, where he was talking about how after the Last Dance documentary and how all that went down, him and Michael Jordan's relationship was kind of frayed, I guess. It's kind of not going well between Sir Charles and Michael Jordan these days. But if you guys remember in the documentary, one thing that Michael Jordan always did with people was take it personal. So I'm thinking to myself, number one, Jordan Brand is not above being very petty when it comes to creating certain colorways of certain iconic Jordan models. Think about the Sports Illustrated Jordan 1s, for instance, where Jordan Brand literally made the swoosh on that Air Jordan 1 the same colors as one of the players that Michael Jordan was scoring on the cover of that Sports Illustrated magazine. But then that made me think a little bit deeper. And you know what? In this video, I might be thinking too deep. So I want you guys to comment down below and let me know, Kari, you thinking too deep on this one, my guy? So obviously back in the day, Michael Jordan was on a tear when it came to his scoring titles. He got all those scoring titles back to back to back. All this amazing stuff was happening. Now, we also know that Michael Jordan defeated the Phoenix Suns in the 1993 NBA Finals. So first I was thinking to myself, okay, well, maybe this is paying homage to the fact that he beat Charles Barkley, even though Charles Barkley did beat him in that game during the series. But then I thought about the fact, well, that was 1993. The Air Jordan 3s were a thing of the past. So to do that colorway on an Air Jordan 3 really doesn't make a lot of sense. So then I thought to myself, okay, well, maybe that's not really what it is, but maybe this has something to do with the fact that these are releasing overseas. Now, what happened overseas that might have made Michael Jordan feel a certain way? And I could think maybe of one thing in particular, and that was the Dream Team over in Barcelona. If you guys remember, Michael Jordan and Charles Barkley played on that team together, but even though Michael Jordan was getting all the scoring titles in the NBA, Charles Barkley actually got the scoring title for that game that they won overseas in Barcelona. So I'm thinking to myself, maybe MJ took it personal that Charles Barkley got that scoring title that I'm sure that he wanted overseas in Barcelona during the Olympics in '92 and decided to make this sneaker a European release only overseas, so that maybe the only people rocking this sneaker, quote unquote, will be the people who lived over in the place where Charles Barkley took his scoring title away from him. Maybe Michael Jordan is that petty, or maybe not. Maybe this is just an orange and purple Air Jordan 3 that they just arbitrarily decided to drop overseas in Europe and Asia. Maybe it's as simple as that. I don't know. But I'll tell you like this. A Phoenix Suns inspired Air Jordan 3 obviously did not hit that well when it came to the markets when they dropped this sneaker, and especially the resale markets, which is where I look at a lot of sneaker value and demand on if people really want this shoe or not. Now, when first images leaked and when this sneaker first started being talked about, the rumor was that the sneaker actually got canceled. Now, apparently there were some early pairs that were kind of floating around out there of this shoe. So when that happened, the people that had those early pairs shot the prices up super high on the shoe, because at that point, you know, controversy sells. So they thought that this sneaker was canceled and they thought they were going to make a bag off of it. Then they announced that the sneaker was back on, but would only be released outside of North America. Now, that doesn't really stop any of us. Obviously, we can get our hands on a sneaker even if it releases outside of North America. So then that led me to take a look to see if people really wanted this sneaker. And what the markets told me was that people don't. Look at that StockX right now. And right now, you can get this sneaker for right about retail price. Pretty much what you would pay for this sneaker, including shipping from any overseas retailer. So it looks like people aren't super pressed to get their hands on a purple, orange, and black Jordan 3, and I get it. But the biggest place where I see that Jordan Brand maybe dropped the ball on this sneaker was by making the orange instead of making the orange yellow. I guarantee you, if Jordan Brand had have made this yellow, the outline of the Jordan yellow, and maybe this part yellow, or maybe the Air yellow underneath here, if they had made this a purple and gold Air Jordan 3, this would have sold out like crazy. These would have been worth way more money than they're worth right now, simply because people were Laker fans and they wanted to pay homage to Kobe. But I don't really see a lot of people wanting to pay homage to Charles Barkley out here in the Phoenix Suns. Somebody who doesn't even have a ring doesn't really wet the beak of a lot of people out here that are collecting sneakers. Now, to say that Charles Barkley isn't one of the greatest NBA players, he's a fantastic NBA player, and it's a shame that he never got a ring. But at the end of the day, I've seen other people also talking about they hope that this sneaker releases in the United States. Why? Why do you hope the sneaker drops in the United States when you can literally buy a pair for retail price right now? All you got to do is get on Go to StockX and buy yourself a pair for retail price. That's what I did. I don't really know what the significance of this sneaker is, and maybe that's why it didn't really connect with that many people. The color isn't really that hyped up. It's a lot more colors, a lot more sneakers that are coming out, and honestly, I think a lot of people got really let down when they realized that this was not a Laker colorway, and they just moved on to the next shoe. I mean, there's a ton of them to choose from, so people didn't really need this sneaker at that point. And at this point, there are so many other sneakers sneakers that people need, that it's very easy to let a sneaker like this go underneath the radar. But that's not to say that it's not a good shoe. Decent materials, all black upper, primarily a black cement Jordan 3 color blocking. It's really, really nice. I mean, the only differences here is that you have the purple and the orange. Honestly, it's a customizer's dream. All you customizers out here, all you gotta do is get your hands on a pair of these, make that yellow, make the back of this yellow, see if you can switch out the stitching on the Jumpman. You got yourself a Laker 3. But in the meantime, these are what they are. So if you wanna pick up a pair, it's probably not that difficult to do so. All right, guys, that's pretty much all that I got about these. Now it's time for you guys to sound off down in the comments. Let me know what you guys think about the Air Jordan 3 Court Purple. Are these ones that you guys wanted on your must-have list, on your must-cop list? Or were you one of the ones that said, not today, I don't really need them? Sound off down below, let me know. Of course, right down in the comments, make sure that you click on that subscribe button so we can welcome you into the Sneaker Fetish family to make sure you don't miss out on any more heat that comes through like these, because I guarantee you, I got a lot more heat on the way. As always, I want to thank you guys for joining me here today on Sneaker Fetish, taking a look at these with me, unboxing them with me for a couple of minutes. I go by the name of Kari. This is the Air Jordan 3 Court Purple Overseas exclusive. And until next time, I'm out.